guys. Let's give everybody a big round. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our first presenter. And you go ahead and introduce yourself.
I hope I can get your attention with this shocking statistics. Every minute in the United States only, more than 24 people die as a result of domestic violence. Every minute. Think about it. My name is Bisola-Mariam, Nigerian by birth, a second-year social work student at the Crown School. I have previously worked with EB agencies in the city of Chicago, and I am a resilient survivor of domestic violence myself. For more than 10 years, I found myself in a domestically abusive situation, an experience that I consider a raging storm. Why I survived? There are many people whose lives have been cut short as a result of domestic violence. Gabby Petitio, among many others. Our goal is to, we're currently building a solution that leverages technology, and our goal is to quickly and efficiently provide safety support and space to DV survivors everywhere in the world without them ever having to use a hotline. Our name is taken from I do for you, which means I am here for you, an African slang particularly. Now when you think about domestic violence, it is not limited to relationships, intimate relationships alone. It does involve any kind of relationship where force or control is exercised or used. When you also think about survivors, these are not people who are currently living in abusive relationships. These are people who perhaps are out of those relationships, among many others. Now, it's a problem, of course. It does affect life expectancy. It does have intergenerational impact. And it also impacts economy in many ways. Now, I said to myself, it's one thing to trust secondary sources, but it's another thing to go out there and talk to people and really understand how do we solve this problem. And in that process, I traveled to specific cities in the United States and across selected African countries such as Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, where I come from, and also Abidjan, or Côte d'Ivoire, or Ivory Coast. Now, it does look like I was on vacation, but I wasn't. Next, after collecting all the, doing all the interviews, we also realized that we needed to collect responses from people online. So currently we are administering survey, and in that process we found a consistent pattern. And the pattern is people need safety, support, and space. And we also decided that in order to provide this innovative solution, we can leverage two unique models, which are the QL and the EP models.
Point at the computer.
Now, the breaking news, which is the good news, is it is possible to provide survivors with safety, support, and space in less than 5 minutes. Our solution is, now the question is, how then do we take someone from here, get them all of this by leveraging this? I'm sure that's the next question you're asking or thinking about, right? Now, there are so many information there, but I'm not going to bore you with those terms. I'm going to share with you a personal story that you've never heard from me before. In 2019, before I came to the United States on a fully funded scholarship, I had a conversation with this abuser who physically hit me because I wanted to pursue my dreams. And in that moment, I kept yelling and screaming. And I kept wondering if only I had a phone like this one, that could hear me scream loud, and my scream could get the attention of people within 1 to 5 miles through a feature called Ceci. If only I could find a new place to call home through a feature called Gida. If only I was financially empowered through a feature called Kodi. If only I could build support, because over the years, I still continue to receive threatening emails from this person, even while living in the United States. And I wish I had support. And that is possible through a feature called Rafiki. And every time I travel around the world, I fear for my safety. But that won't be the case for survivors. Through our app, leveraging a tool such as Safari. Who are we selling to, right? That's the big question. I'm not going to be selling to myself alone, right? We'll be selling to survivors who leverage currently use traditional and non-traditional service providers, and people who will also be selling to academic institutions. And the reason is because right now, as I stand before you as a graduate student, I receive threatening emails, and my colleagues also receive emails from this person. And there are many people who will never get a chance to share their story, and they are all graduate students or in the university. Now, how do we find the people we intend to sell to? We currently launched a reality show where we're sharing the stories of survivors. We intend to take this to Netflix and also leverage all the traditional and non-traditional methods for lead generation. Now, this is our number. Our projection is to sell at least our subscription-only offer to 1.5 million people, and that would give us a total of 7.5 in the first year, and we intend to double that number over a period of 4 years. Ooh, okay. Now, currently, we seek a total of $100,000, but between now and December, we want to raise $30,000, and by January, $50,000. Our goal is to spend $15,000 US on